Further issues with PD, according to Cassie, who looked for the big black not just for herself, but also for someone else we all know was present. The stars have reportedly refused to seat next to PD during the forthcoming Grammy Awards. She claims that Diddy is receiving a lot of attention outside of music. Business friends, as well as those from the Grammys itself. What's going on exactly? Diddy won a Grammy nomination for his most recent Love album, but the Grapevine at Media Takeout claims that the Grammys may be reconsidering inviting him to their esteemed ceremony. Rumor has it that certain well-known musicians are threatening to skip the award show if they end up rubbing elbows with Diddy. Yes, the Grammy seating chart is completely jumbled, with people seemingly playing musical chairs to avoid being seated next to the former billionaire movie icon. You might be wondering why. Well, it seems like things got messy when Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie V. Shay decided to file a lawsuit against him for disclosing some quite unpleasant information. Celebrity agents are reportedly literally pleading with their clients to keep their clients as far away from Diddy as possible, and Academy officials are attempting to take the millionaire superstar off the Grammy guest list because of the numerous demands. According to Insider, there is conflict at the Academy because some voting members, including a number of prominent African American members, feel that inviting Diddy would send the wrong message to viewers and the charities. The formal invitations are sent out this month. It backs up many publicists' requests that their artists not occupying a seat next to him. It is a logistical catastrophe. In any event, it appears that not just the celebs at the Grammys are taking a stance against Diddy. At least 3 musicians who had signed to Shaw Diddy's record company have shown support for their label mate Cassie, a UBO day, who was discovered by Diddy. It's not easy to take on one of the most powerful individuals in this industry, but Combs, who rose to popularity as a member of the urban pop trio Danity Kane and appeared on the reality TV show Making the Band 3, declared her entire support for Cassie in a statement released on Thursday. She stated, "May the others be drawn to the by her voice." Asked whether she had seen Combs be anybody or been a BD by him, so we can start having more open discussions about what is truly going on behind the scenes. Before I talk about it further, OD Day said, "I need to take a moment because there are layers to it." Furthermore, Don Richard, a different former Danity Kane member, stated on the social networking site X that Ventura is stunning and courageous, and that she was praying for peace and healing for Cassie and her family. On her former and Instagram profiles, Juanita Dwid's Woodjet, who is also famous from Danity Kane, posted a message of solidarity. "Although I haven't updated on this site in a very long time, there is a really good reason to write on XE," she continued, saying that Venture is very brave to reveal what she went through in the shadows. She also said, "I'm sorry you had to go through it alone. I'm praying for your continued strength and I offer my full support to you." Additionally, brands are quickly cutting their ties with Diddy and distance themselves from him. As his association has unexpectedly turned into a burden to begin with. Macy's is reportedly working to remove Diddy's apparel line Sean John from both its website and its physical locations. Diddy and Macy's have had an exclusive connection for almost 10 years, with the department store carrying his stuff ever since it opened. As part of our continuous brand portfolio assessment, which began in the late 1990s, the Shaw John line has been phased out of assortment as of early autumn 2023. Macy's clarified that it's just part of their business process and stated that they always assess what matters to their clients, pointing out that Shaw John goods have just ceased selling the way they used to. Furthermore, Capital Preparatory Charter Schools and Diddy have ceased their partnership. The music mogul Diddy assisted in the establishment of Capital Prep School's Harlem location and gave $1 million to the school's Bronx location in 2021. On November 28, the school announced that it was cutting its ties with the entrepreneur due to ongoing SA allegations and legal issues. Dr. Steve Perry, the creator and principal of Capital Preparatory Schools, after a careful assessment, the decision to dissolve the relationship between Sean Combs and Capital Preparatory Schools was reached. Although this choice was not taken lightly, we are convinced that it is in the best interests of all parties. The statement read, "In any event, about the current and future of our organization." Following the revelation of the claims, Diddy was also compelled to resign from some of his businesses. Diddy resigned as chairman of his media company Rebellion Together. With Andy Schwann, Diddy initially introduced the media and digital cable network in October 2023 It seems like Diddy may be subject to a Grammy ban as a result of all the material that has come to light regarding his relationships with Kim Porter and Cassie. Speaking out against his former employer, Diddy's former bodyguard Gan Deal contrasted Ventura's purported experience with that of Diddy's late ex-partner Kim Porter. "I was unaware of Cassie. However, I was aware of someone who was experiencing the same thing as she was, and that person was Kim Porter, who stated in a widely shared interview last week that Cassie's story is actually Kim's story with an additional deal added later." As you can see, concerns have been raised regarding the rapper's death for a long time, including claims that Kim Porter passed away following plans to publish a tell-all book. Kim grabbed one of those corkscrews and tore his wrist open, heating an artery, presumably because he tried to touch her inappropriately one evening as they were at her 110th Street residence. He had to rush over to her when she did that. Hospital St. Luke's Combs was reportedly addicted to narcotic painkillers at the onset of his bleeding episodes while in the hospital. Moreover, Gan Deal discussed Diddy's affection for the BBC. Cassie, who looked for the huge black not only for herself, but also for someone else who was in the room with her, as we all know the Cassies. Lawsuit allegations after giving Miss Ventura and the S workers instructions to communicate. Mr. Combs would expressly inform Miss Ventura where to touch the S workers. When he gave her instructions to perform for him, Mr. Combs would say things like, "Grab that big black D," and ask her, "How does it feel?" Now we understand. Know of the claims that Diddy enjoys having sex with men? Well, it's possible that Diddy forced Cassie to outsource the men's workers, not just for herself, but also so he could have sex with them. That being said, the lawsuit was settled through undisclosed terms in less than 48 hours following the filing of the complaints. Upon the complaints filing, Benjamin Brofman, the attorney for Com, called Ventura's allegation offensive and outrageous in a statement on his client's behalf. He also claimed that Ventura had attempted, in vain, to blackmail Com for $30 million by threatening to detail Cassie's alleged abuse. A text meanwhile, Douglas Wider, Ventura's attorney, said that Combs had made an 8-figure offer to Ventura to keep quiet and stop her from launching this action, which she had purportedly turned down at the same time. Roger Bonds, who served as Diddy's head of security for over 10 years, has supported Cassie's claims when she mentioned him in her legal action. In a since-deleted Instagram video, Bonds also claimed that he had acted on behalf of other survivors in previous cases. According to Bond, there comes a point in life when something could appear favorable at first. But if you wake up unhappy, resentful, or just don't want to be around that person, then the scenario isn't worth it. You'll come up with every reason to leave that place. He said that he used his diabetes as a justification for not being with Combs, saying, "I can't be with you every day. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm losing weight." He then addressed his former employer. Yet, in actuality, I was tired of you, of all that was going on around you, and of having to pretend that nothing you did was wrong in her complaint. Ventura said that in January 2009, while she and Combs were leaving a bar, Bonds interfered after Combs reportedly hit her while pushing. The lawsuit goes on saying that Mr. Combs' security personnel Roger Bonds attempted to halt the beating by pushing her into a corner of the car and stomping on her face. Yet when the automobile got to Mr. Combs' house, he couldn't defuse the situation. When Miss Ventura tried to flee, Mr. Combs pursued her and continued to kick her in the. While addressing his involvement in the lawsuit in relation to his personal problems with Combs, Bond stated that Cassie had spoken about it and that he had jumped in between, but that there had been other instances and other persons in any event amid the numerous accusations made against Diddy. Not surprisingly, the Grammy Awards are enthusiastic about